We're going to be breaking down the brand new Yeat You Should Know music video. Let's hop right into it. So starting off here, we have these skyline shots that are super fire. They look like they're shot almost out of a helicopter, which they probably are. So if we go through here, you guys can see we have these crazy shots with a helicopter sound effect on top of it. Now, you guys are going to think my video budgets aren't this high. Well, you can actually get footage like this just by going on YouTube and searching, let's say, Toronto, your city, and then drone shots. And then there's so many of these that you could download and just color grade to match your video. And a lot of them are free as long as you credit the person who shot them. And then to get the helicopter sound effect, you can either go on YouTube and just search helicopter sound effect, or you can go on a sound website like I use Epidemic Sound and find one on there as well. And moving on to the very next one here, guys, we have this really cool effect that I haven't seen before, but I really like the way it looks. So it went by really quick there, but you guys could see it kind of has like this weird shift and movement to it with these crazy blurs. So we're going to be recreating that on this clip right here. Now to create this, what you want to do is you want to create an item, create an adjustment layer, and then drag it on top of your footage and then crop it to match it. All right, so now that we have this on here, what we're going to do is we're going to put transform on our adjustment layer. And then make sure you have your shutter angle all the way up and then this unchecked here. And then just to start, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom into Yeat here. We're going to bring them down and we're going to create 2 more points right here. And then we're going to go up like that. And then we're going to zoom in and then go to the side. So you guys can already see you have that sort of effect there. Just going to copy this keyframe here and paste it here. Very similar effect. Looks great there. Now hopping on to the very next one here, guys, what we have is this low shutter effect, which they did in camera for this, but I'm going to be showing you guys how you can do it in post. If you're going to do it in your camera, make sure you bring down your shutter speed to 1/5, anywhere between 1/5 and 1/10. Or if you want to do it in post, I'll have my slow shutter presets for Premiere Pro and After Effects linked below. You guys can take normal footage just like this, and all you have to do is go into effects, open up my slow shutter presets here, and then drag and drop them on. And as you guys can see, it takes your footage from looking like this to something like this. And if you don't like the way the colors work, there are 3 different presets for daytime, nighttime, and normal. You guys can also go into Lumetri color and bring up the contrast, bring down the shadows, and turn the highlights up. And you can make the look a lot better just by doing that. And as you guys can see, that looks super crazy compared to before. And then just to show you guys on this green clip here as well, which is a lot more similar to this one, we're just going to drag and drop the look on here. And then you guys can see, looks like this. And just by going into Lumetri color again, just by turning up the contrast, bringing down the shadows, and then turning up the highlights, you get something a lot more like this. And then just even match it a bit more, you can turn down the oranges. Super clean. Now moving on to this next one here, guys, we have this really cool montage effect here. It's shot very quick and has a lot of these quick blurs. So basically what he did is he took a clip like this. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do it on, and he just cut like certain points of it. So let's say we take all these points here and we'll grab one from the beginning, one from here. So you have something like this as a base. And what you can actually do is just extend some of your clips here to make them a little bit longer. So you'll get something a little bit like this. And then on some of them, you could zoom into certain parts. So let's say we just zoom into the helicopter flying. Then we go into Yeat here. And then what they also have is they have these little like blur glitches on them. You guys can see right here, there's one right there. And they also have like a crazy amount of texture and sharpness on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of these, nest them, and then we'll go into effects here, and then we'll put on an unsharp mask, go into effect controls and just turn it up here. You guys could see we're already kind of getting that look there. And then going inside the Lumetri color here, you can make it a little bit more just by turning up the highlights there, turning down the shadows. We'll make it like that. Boom, we already kind of have a similar look. You guys can see they have halation on here, which is making the edges glow. So what we can actually do is duplicate this. And then using these little adjustment layers, this one's 1 frame, we'll make them 2 frames. We'll go into effects here, and we're going to be using my fast movement effects V3 pack that has a bunch of wipes and hits and shakes inside of it, and just putting them on adjustment layers that are a couple of frames. You can see here, if we open up V3 and then just go into some hits, you can get kind of looks just like that. If we duplicate it a few times and just drag some hits and then some wipes, and then let's do a little brightness flicker on this one here. You guys can see we can easily get a look just like this. And then what they did is they had like this camera wipe at the end, as you guys can see here, which can be created just by taking one of the adjustment layers that we've created here, going into wipe transitions, and then just doing, let's do a fast hard wipe. You guys can see we get that wipe just like that. Now moving on to the very next one, guys, we have this night vision effect that can be achieved super easily inside of Premiere Pro here. Now this is shot on an actual night vision camera. So if you guys do have a Sony Hi8 camera that shoots night vision, I'd recommend doing that. But if you don't have that and you're limited to just an editing program, what you can do is go inside of effects here and we're going to type tint. We're going to drag and drop that on our clip here and we're going to make everything that's white a nice green color here. So you guys can see we already kind of have that look there. The hard thing that's kind of difficult to recreate is the Hi8 puts this like white light on them. We're going to duplicate this quick and then do it under opacity. We're going to create this box here and let's just make it a little bit bigger. Now in this box, we're just going to make our green a little bit lighter like this. And then we can go into mask feather just like so. And then maybe go into lumetri color and just turn the exposure up. So you can kind of get a look similar to that white box. You're definitely going to have to mess around with it. Maybe if we just don't do a lighter color and we do the same color just with a higher exposure, that might work a little bit better. Let's see how this looks. I think we definitely need a little bit of a lighter color here. You can just leave it as the basic one or you can add it to this. Anyways, what I do next is I go into new item, create an adjustment layer, hit OK. And then I'd go and add a flicker preset on it, which I have inside of my fast movement V3 bundle. Under camera shakes and extras, you guys can create this yourself, but it's super easily just inside of this pack. Kind of add that flicker. And then you definitely want like a heavy grain on this. So I'm going to be using my grain that's in my film look pack that'll be linked below. Have a heavy grain there. Adjustment layer on top. You kind of have a similar look there. I don't even know if I'd leave this on here. I would just go inside of lumetri color and turn up the exposure here and then maybe play with the green a bit more. Anyways, you guys get it. Just mess with it to your liking until you have it the way you want. Now moving on to this very next one here, I'm not going to break down an edit for this one, but this is basically a very wide angle lens put on the ground, tilted on something that's called a Dutch angle. The tilted angles are called Dutch angles, and you guys can create the shot super easily. I think it's really sick and looks very cool. Now we have these wipes here that they kept on using for transitions in the video. Now you guys could do that just like before with the wipe presets I was showing you guys. So if we drag and drop an adjustment layer in here, and let's say we make it 8 frames, and then we cut it. We'll duplicate a few of them just to show you guys the wipes that are inside the pack. Go into effects, and then we'll open up our wipe transitions. So we'll have a couple of them here. So we have this one that goes up. So same as before, this is going to the side. This one goes up, and all you do is just drag it on your footage, and it creates these crazy transitions. This one kind of goes everywhere, and then this one is just like before, it goes to the side. But if you pair this with a bunch of different cut footage or you use it as a transition, it looks super clean. And then for this very last shot here, we're going to be breaking down the film look they used on it. It's a very bright look that leans on temperature being set to cool. So you can just change that inside of here and then play with the highlights as well. And then adding that glowing effect, it's basically in camera because it's just shot on film. But if you use a film emulation, so like something called Dehancer here, which I'll have linked in the description. If you guys want to save some money on it, you can use my code. All you have to do inside of Dehancer here is just go down to Bloom and turn that on, and it's going to make everything glow on your regular footage. And halation is going to add the red outlines to everything. And that is my breakdown of the YEAT You Should Know music video. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, make sure to leave a like and subscribe as well. Also, check out this video right here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.